Welcome back to the darkness for the final time. Last time we made a poor decision, and Jackie spent the rest of eternity in the asylum dancing with a construct of Jenny made by the darkness. I guess it's poorly explained. This time we'll be making the right decision. And when we continue the game, starts us off right after the Darklings' heroic and pointless sacrifice, for which they actually tried to milk some pathos. What the fuck were they thinking?
Dr. Vic is trying to help you.
Then we could just skip this cutscene and reject the asylum. Yeah, Jackie's getting back to the old suicide game. Wouldn't be a darkness game without it. You've heard of a first-person shooter. How about a first-person suicider? So edgy.
I want to be with Jenny. Hold on, baby. I'm coming.
So we've been told a bunch of times that doing this will send us to hell. And hell, at first, looks an awful lot like the asylum.
You defy me!
Jackie, you found your way here.
Jenny? Is that really you?
Plenty of time to investigate further. Gotta take a quick detour for a relic in hell. Looks especially out of place here, which is saying something considering how out of place all the other relics have been. I almost considered stopping the video and playing the story here, but we'll see why later.
You are of no consequence!
We'll see about that.
You are not welcome!
I guess that little cutscene was Jackie manifesting the darkness against the darkness's own will.
Please, Jackie, make it stop.
Hold on, baby. I'm coming.
You must not!
At least they attempt to acknowledge that it's kinda weird that we can use the darkness when the darkness doesn't want us to. Even after it held us hostage and made us watch Jenny's death in the first game. We are more powerful than it is, ultimately. Sometimes. We got ourselves a special hell gun. And we're gonna buy the black hole upgrade. Really just wanted to show that off. And I'm saving up for Swarms from Limbo. A slight improvement to the swarm.
Except you are nothing!
You'll recognize these demons we're fighting if you watch the Vendettas videos, where they showed up throughout the campaign for no particular reason. Clearly they were supposed to be in hell, just ended up being reused assets in that little side campaign.
The guilt consumes you! She will never leave here.
I like that when there's no enemies about, the level itself features ominous cackling in the ambience. The alternate world of the first game, sort of World War I hell analog, also did a bit of the same. Even though it was completely distinct from actual hell, which we're in now, and Asylum Hell, which was another world that the darkness could apparently manifest. Plenty of discrete alternate realities in this series. And a little bonus for 2 impalements at once. That's actually an achievement as well. Charmingly called 2 Guys, 1 Pole. There are a few spots in the main game where it's easy to set up intentionally, but that's the only time I've ever done it on accident in 2 completed runs of the game. And the little bonus it gave us is part of a desperately underutilized system, where you get rewards for doing fun tricks. Bulletstorm came out the year this game was supposed to be released, and I think had a last-minute influence on it.
Your soul is lost!
I personally would have liked if they had gone a little further with encouraging players to try out fun ideas and do cathartic special kills and the like. Because when they do that shit, it usually turns out great. Some of the scripted events, like flipping off the inverted car in the parking garage, those are really memorable and fun and cool. Oh, by the way, final relic in the game. No more of those. Really seems like they wanted to do more fun stuff, and every time they started to push in that direction, they pulled back in favor of more fucking melodrama. The fact that they tried to do both wacky, over-the-top violence and serious, down-to-earth storytelling really limited their ability to pull off either, which ultimately I think is what tanks this game's potential.
You cannot free her!
Jackie!
It will not be set free!
Of course, the serious story element was kind of kneecapped from the start, because it relies on the darkness giving Jenny back, which is never a specified deal. Like, what does that mean? Is the darkness gonna bring Jenny back to life? Did anyone actually believe the darkness was gonna comply with Jackie's demands? And did Jackie really betray the darkness at any point by impaling himself with a siphon? It's very arbitrary, poorly explained.
No! You cannot!
Watch me.
It lies. You will not have my power!
I already do.
I guess apparently we'll also get the darkness's power if we pull this off. That's a new wrinkle. And like Jackie says, we pretty much already do. Can manifest it against the darkness's will, so... Suck it, Mike Patton. Throughout this level, he does some of his finest voice acting work. In the whole series, really. It had been a few years, well, 5 years since the release of the first game.
Jenny is gone! Accept your fate!
In those 5 years, Mike Patton had quite a bit of voice acting experience. He played the lead in the 2009 Bionic Commando open world game. And in this game, he's much better at making a character instead of just making ridiculous and human sounds. It really shows, and some of his line readings are really amazing. Not to mention the fact that he's literally the only human on Earth that can make some of his trademark sounds. Much like the second Otherworld segment in the first game, it's Mike Patton's voice that really brings the whole thing to life. Takes an otherwise sort of bland thing and makes it pretty great. That said, this is much better than that segment in the first game. Even at the time, I sort of thought, you should probably, like, go into the castle and fight monsters and stuff. They had concept art for that prepared in the first game, but,
You know not what you do!
that gameplay probably had to be cut out. This one, I was actually surprised, after the bad ending was just a shitty cutscene, with lots of visual glitches. At one point, Jenny's eyes clip through her eyelids. It's a very horrifying image. After I saw that, I sort of expected this to just be a cutscene. And then I actually selected it, and it's a full level with all sorts of new art assets and enemy types. All these new hell guns, like the mash shit that we're shooting right now. It's a pretty bad gun, by the way. It's like, I guess it's supposed to be like the Striker. The noise it makes is kind of irritating, and I can't tell where it's firing because it has that huge muzzle flash. Same problem with these Kafziels, but doesn't matter because they have such a high fire rate.
Keep going! You're gonna do it!
Not obey.
So it looks like we're getting within arm's reach of actually rescuing Jenny. Just gotta get this shield and kill these guys. But not just yet, I guess.
Jenny! I'm coming for you!
Thought it was a really nice touch that they had Jackie do the death line in hell here. That was an intentional death to show that off, but I'm not bragging because I did die unintentionally and edit that out as well. So I'm not actually good at this game. Don't worry. The shield guys are especially hard to deal with here because their shields are shielded. Always hated that mechanic in the main game. But the shit on it that is keeping you from grabbing it is like the same color as the shield itself. So there's virtually no visual difference between a shielded shield and an unshielded shield. It's a bad mechanic and doesn't really work here. But we're done with shield guys. We're almost done with all the demons. Then we'll save Jenny, who is bulletproof here in hell. Oh hey, another shield guy. I was wrong. Give him the old iconic execution. Then rescue Jenny. Finally.
Doom yourself!
She's worth it.
Jackie, you did it.
I didn't mean for this to happen. Any of this.
Shh. We don't have much time.
That's the end. We saved Jenny. And we're just gonna live out our days happily in hell. Time for an incredibly long credit sequence. Yep, nothing but credits from here on out. Don't even think about scrubbing ahead to find out otherwise. We also get the worst ending theme to play over the credits here of the three, so I'm gonna talk over them, I guess. It's an enjoyable game. Mechanically, it's phenomenal, and I personally really like the art style. I also was surprised by how violent it ended up being, even though it gets kind of numbing when they just show you the same executions over and over again. Still, the groundwork is there for a really great, fun game that would have been worth dredging up 7 years later, the way I'm doing right now. I really wish they had leaned more into all the fun ideas they had, made this game more ridiculous and over the top. But they also could have made it more serious and really tried to tell a story better, because there's implications that there's a deeper story at play here. The Asylum is pretty clever, actually, because the game has been sort of surreal from its very inception. The first game, right when the darkness manifested, reality started to break down, and then the second game, the reality is just completely out the window. There's magic items all over the goddamn place. Jenny's bear shows up all over the place, and it makes no sense. Jenny herself keeps showing up. That actually never gets explained. That's just Jackie's actual insanity. So when they send you to the asylum and start gaslighting you, they were onto something really clever. But they went way too far and tried to imply that everything in Jackie's entire life had been a hallucination. So it wasn't really believable. Everyone is telling you that it's a lie, even in the asylum. They could have done more to convince you, and maybe had a more ambiguous ending, since they split the endings anyway. But no, the bad ending is very clearly false, and is only there to sort of amuse you after you see the real ending. Jackie's sanity is also called into question by his unhealthy fixation on Jenny, which may even have been referenced by the choice of the song I Only Have Eyes for You, because Jackie literally only cares about Jenny, not his own life, not anything else, just Jenny. They could have done some deconstruction on how that's a common trope for male characters, actually. The supernatural elements actually justifying Jackie's obsession do kind of throw a monkey wrench in that, but it might have been interesting, maybe. In the comics, Jenny does go to hell, even though she's the only good character in the entire universe. Unlike in the game, Jackie never saves her, although she does come back to life after he resets the entire universe. But her presence in the universe causes it to start to break down in an almost meta-aware show of the fact that no good character can exist in the Top Cow universe. So I don't know how the comics ended. They ended for good in 2013, until in 2018 it was announced The Darkness is back in comic book form. Later this year, they're supposed to start printing again, or maybe they already have. I don't care. Maybe it'll cause a return to the game series. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Maybe a new game would be more than just disposable entertainment, but that's the only reason I made this Let's Play, as disposable entertainment. Normally I aim much higher when I do these things, but the only reason I did this one was because I knew it would be easy. It's the only LP I've ever done where I didn't do practice runs. I didn't prepare commentary by watching the video first. I just sorta let it happen. And maybe it was enjoyable, maybe not. If nothing else, it distracted me from my horrible crushing depression, except for all the times that I had to watch Jackie kill himself in first-person view. Maybe I figured a game that didn't live up to its potential deserved an LP that didn't live up to its potential. But we're through it, and I gotta say, I think the first game was actually a little better, you may be surprised to hear. But I enjoyed the second game more. Oh, I tricked you, we're not actually done with it. Oh, what a good trick I pulled. April Fools.
I love you, Jackie Estacado. No matter what happens, I always will. I'm so sorry.
Sorry? Jenny, I'm the one who should be Jenny?
We are the Angelus. The world has gone too long without my light. Oh, yes. It's been so long.
Where's Jenny?
Don't worry. She's still in here. And after all you put her through, she still loves you. But she knows what must be done.
Give her back to me.
Don't you understand, Jackie? Jenny's soul wasn't the only thing trapped here. It was you who gave her to me.
I won't fight you.
What makes you think I'm even going to give you the chance? You have become too powerful a host, caused too much suffering. You and it are now where you belong.
No!
Well, folks, we have a sequel hook. But since we didn't get a sequel, Jackie just burns in hell for eternity. And by seeing that, we unlock New Game Plus. In this mode, we can keep all of our skills that we've unlocked, and all of our relics, of course, and select whatever chapter we want to play. There are actually 19 chapters, but we'll be going to one that starts us in the relic room. And we're going to play it on Tell Me a Story difficulty because we're just going to have Johnny tell us a story.
Make it stop, Jackie.
I wanted to finish off this Let's Play by just once showing off our completed collection of relics. We finally have them all 29. And here they all are, beautifully arranged in their elaborate display cases. Looks quite nice. And I wanted to send the game off with its best asset besides Mike Patton's voice acting, which is of course Johnny's relic stories. Mike Patton, by the way, I follow a lot of bands that have interacted with him. He's got a bit of a reputation as a douche. Talented douche nonetheless, though. We're going to start with the Ashes of the Unnamed, even though it was the final relic that we collected. Because if we look at the relic list in the pause menu, it's actually number 28 out of 29. The one we collected before it is the final relic. Take it away, Johnny.
You want to know how the Brotherhood got to be the fun-loving psychos they are today? It's all thanks to you. Well, thanks to the Darkness. There was one time, only one time, that the Brotherhood succeeded in trapping the Darkness, and it drove them insane. The Darkness is not to be fucked with, and even when in prison, it is a force to be reckoned with. For decades, the Brotherhood watched over the Siphon, the Darkness stirring within it, perverting their minds. It wasn't long before the Brotherhood decided the only way to save the world was to destroy it. Gee, wonder who gave them that idea. There was one brother who stood firm against the taint. No, not that kind of taint. Get your mind out of the gutter. Focus! His faith was so ironclad, the Darkness couldn't touch him. When he learned what his fellow brothers planned to do, he knew there was only one option. He set the Darkness free. Now, this didn't make the Angelus happy. No, she returned to the Earth just so she could deliver the granddaddy of all smitings. That one faithful brother was reduced to ash just moments after he'd saved the world. The Angelus's rage burned so hot, it consumed the brother's soul entirely. He stopped the Brotherhood from destroying all creation, and in return, he became the first human to ever beat non-existence. In all of heaven and earth, the only thing left of him are these ashes. The ashes of the unnamed. Kinda lends credence to that saying, no good deed goes unpunished.
Doesn't explain why we found it in hell. But regardless, it's time to see the very last relic, and we'll understand why it's the last relic when we see the story. Also why I considered playing it before we completed the Hell chapter. It's got an interesting little setup for the after credit sequence.
Holy shit, Jackie, this is big. This is really big. You know how the Siphon of the Angelus was designed to hold the darkness? Well, this is the Prism of the Brothers, and it's meant to hold the Angelus. After the darkness escaped the Siphon, the Brotherhood vanished for a long time. So long, in fact, it was believed that they disbanded. But no, the Siphon of the Angelus had been lost to them. Without it, they couldn't make good on their plan to shroud the world in darkness. Instead, they decided to burn the world with light, so they built this. When the darkness in Angelus re-emerged during World War II, the Brotherhood was waiting for them. Don't ask me how, because I sure as hell got no idea, but the Brotherhood defeated the Angelus, trapping her inside the prison. Okay? Where, according to legend, she remains today. But here's the thing, Jackie. I'm looking at this prism right now, and I'm not picking up a thing. No holy essence, no dark magic, nothing. The Angelus is not inside the prism. In fact, it never even touched it. If I can be honest, this scares the living fuck out of me. The Angelus has not been seen on our world in 70 years. We thought it was because she was trapped. In this! But she's not, Jackie. She's still out there. Where the fuck is she?
Maybe someday Johnny will know the answer to that question. But right now, we know all we're ever going to. That's the end of The Darkness, and if for some reason you enjoyed this, please go watch my other Let's Plays. They're not any better, but there's more of them. So enjoy. And thank you for watching.